The U.S. Department is suing 4 new states for failing to provide complete voter registration lists. That includes Wisconsin now. The filing also targets the District of Columbia, Georgia, and Illinois. These lawsuits, part of the Trump administration's effort to obtain detailed voter information. Bipartisan Wisconsin election officials voting against providing that data last week, saying it would be illegal under state law to provide personal voter information. The Justice Department claims states are violating federal law by refusing to provide the info, which they say is necessary for election security. The Justice Department now has filed 22 lawsuits seeking voter information from at least 26 states.